So as a reflexologist, I learned something called referral areas, and this is something that I actually use all the time, but I'm sure a lot of people forget about them. So let's go take a look at this concept of referral areas, what they are, and how to even use them. So the most common use for referral areas is when somebody has an injury, right, to the foot or the hands where you can't actually work on that area. And so what you would do, and that's why the concept arose, is that you can work on the opposite side of the body for the injured side. Or you can refer to another area in the body, right? So the referral would be, so for example, if you hurt your right foot and you can't actually work on your right foot, well, what you can do is you can work on the hands, and you can also work on the left foot, right? So all those areas there are called referred areas. They're the referral areas to the foot, right? So the hands reflect the referral in the feet, right? So for example, also, if you hurt your right ankle, then you can work your wrists, right? And your ankle and the other side. So I use these a couple different ways. So the first one would be the one that I just explained. So if the right foot is injured and you can't work on the right foot, then you can work on the right hand, for example, right? That will help the right foot. Another way that I like to use it is more of a compensation referral area. I guess I'll sort of call it that. And that would be if the right foot's injured, then what I can do is, yeah, I can work on the hands, both hands, right? Because there's a compensation that happens when you have an injury. So if you can imagine somebody walking, the body is balancing or counterbalancing itself. So for example, when I'm going forward, my right hand comes up, and that's when this is my left hand, comes up, my right foot is stepping out, right? And then you walk the opposite way. So it's always in a counterbalance type thing. So if your right foot is hurt, you're sort of like sort of hobbling along, right? And so those areas in your body have to compensate now for the injured foot. And so what I like to do is I would work 3 different areas, right? So I would work the hands, and then I would also work the left foot. And then what I would do is also work the left foot in normal fashion, right? But then what I would do is switch over and intentionally work on the left foot with the right foot in mind, right? So it's a really cool concept where you can work, for example, the left foot once as the left foot, and then you can switch your intention and work on the left foot as the right foot. Because again, the left foot has to now take over almost the responsibility of the right foot's job because of the injury, right? So this is a really neat concept, and I've seen a lot of great things happen when you're using referral areas. And plus, this is also a great thing because you can work on somebody that probably wouldn't think they could come for a reflexology session, right? Or if one of your friends or family have an injury, this has really sped up the healing process as far as what I've experienced. And so it's a really great way to work on an injured part of the body, because you cannot work on the injured part of the body, right? Because it's in a healing process. So it's contraindicated at that time, right? So this is the book that I actually studied the referral areas from. It's part of my course when I was taking reflexology. And so I just want to go over this great map because it gives you a lot of different areas to work when there is an injury in the body, right? So I'm going to explain it on a couple different levels here. So the obvious thing would be, the hands and the feet are a referral to each other, right? And so is the head. And so we kind of move inward on the body. And so you'll see the ankles, right? And the wrists. And also the neck, right? And then we have, the calf and the forearm here. It's also related to kind of the bigger shoulder area, right? And we'll keep moving up. You have the knees, you have the elbows, and you have kind of the mid part of your body, which can, sort of act that way as well. And then you have the upper thighs, upper arms, and you have part of the lower back sort of area as well. Working up, you have, the armpit, you have where the inguinal lymph would be, where your leg bends right in here. The shoulder is also related to the lower back area, right? Because there's sort of big movement areas there as well. The interesting thing also about it all is the areas are reflected in the feet as well by sections. So this little map can give you a lot of information and different ways to work on somebody. So, if somebody has an elbow injury, so now you can work, for example, again, the right side, I don't know why I'm picking the right side of the body, but say if the right side of your elbow is injured or not feeling good, you can work on left elbow. And then you can work on left elbow again to help the right side. Then you can work on the knee on both sides of the body as well, right? So it gives you a lot of information, and this little map is so cool to use. So for example, let's go back to the elbow again and knee, right? So right elbows hurt, so you can work those, the knees. And then, look, you can also work the mid part of the foot as well, right? How that lines up. So it's kind of a neat little map. There's so many different ways to use charts and looking at charts, right? So, this, when I look at the referral chart, it's totally different than looking at the reflexology chart in certain ways, right? Some of the stuff lines up, but some of it doesn't. But it's the concept and the intention that's put behind what you're doing that really allow the person's body to sort of remember how to look after itself, and it kicks in and helps them kickstart the healing process, right? And we're just facilitating, our skills as a reflexologist, but really it's their body and stuff that takes the information and turns it into a healing process. So referral areas are kind of a concept that as reflexologists, we learn it, we kind of skim over it, and then, we move on to, the greater, better things of working on all the points and learning all that stuff, right? And so I feel the referral areas get left behind, but I wanted to make this video to share with you sort of different ways of using the referral areas and how important they really can be. So not only can you use it to work on somebody who has an injury, for example, where you can't actually physically work on that area, you can also just use it when that area is sometimes a little bit on the weak side and you want to, boost it a little bit more. So it's another tool that you can use to help that person really, heal and get better faster, right? So I want to have this chart available for you. I've made a little PDF of it, and so in the description below, you'll be able to see a little download for you, and hopefully it helps you because it's such a great little concept, and I think it's very, very useful, right? Hopefully it helps. If you are interested in reflexology and tips and tricks and stuff, and this is the first time you visited my channel, welcome. Please subscribe to the channel because it sort of helps me, get motivated to make more videos. And I love making them, but a little bit of extra encouragement is always welcome. And yeah, if you hit the little bell button, you'll get notified when I have new videos coming out. Until next video, enjoy working on the feet, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.